Zak Bagans is no stranger to mysterious objects and old buildings. He's built a career investigating the strange happenings of our world, and is a firm believer that we're not alone. He's famous for his paranormal investigation series Ghost Adventures, with some calling him a modern-day version of the paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. Bagans is a man with an extraordinary passion for the paranormal, and in recent times he's come forward in detail to some of the most intense investigations that he's been a part of. While with the Ghost Adventures crew, he went down to Texas to investigate the Goatman's Bridge. They heard first-hand accounts of how strange rituals were carried out beneath the bridge, and how for countless years various people who've been to the bridge have had bad experiences, with some even going on to label this place as a demonic hotspot. Zak said the following: "There's some locations that I've investigated that I never want to return to again. Goatsman Bridge, the forces at that place were indescribable. We were going there based on the stories of there being a Goatman type creature. Once we got there, we didn't know how dark and demonic this place was, and how this entity would disguise itself as a regular person named Steve. After we started talking to the eyewitnesses, then we knew that something was really wrong here, especially when one of our female members of our crew got severely affected, and this was a common thing for females to get badly affected in this forest where the bridge was. During this investigation, we decided to do a ceremony to see if we could summon this entity. I don't think that any of us knew that this event would trigger one of the most terrifying moments of my whole investigation career with Ghost Adventures. Something manifested and literally threw Aaron and injured him, and then something kept going back and forth to him, and then when it left him he would drop to the ground and then it would go to me. It was like someone was holding a puppet on strings. The ability that this entity had to get inside me and cause me to try and hurt myself was the most terrifying thing." He continued with the following during the episode: "Something in this forest is going to greet us. Texas has a rich all-American history, and the legend of the Old Alton Bridge is a testament to this history, as the ghost of a former farmer haunts this area. The Old Alton Bridge is beautifully and historically constructed for footpath traffic connecting Denton, Texas to Copper Canyon. It hovers over a muggy river and is surrounded by luscious green trees and grass. It was originally crafted to bring horses and cars to the other side of the river, but is now unsuitable for modern vehicles. A nearby bridge was built to allow bigger rigs to pass through instead. However, its beauty doesn't match its dreadful history. The bridge has been nicknamed Goatsman Bridge after a successful goat farmer, Oscar Washburn. However, he was taken out by KKK members in 1938. The Washburn family resided in the area in the early 1930s, and was generally left alone and even respected by the rest of the community. They were a prosperous family as they raised healthy resale goats that were necessary for farming. The clan got wind of the Washburn family's success because of a promotional sign hung from the Old Alton Bridge, and they were enraged. One night in 1938, they raced across the bridge to drag Oscar from his home and bring him to the Old Alton Bridge, where he would ultimately meet his demise. The legend remarks that they went back for the rest of the Washburn family, but took them out in their home rather than placing them alongside Oscar. When the members went to see if Washburn had truly passed away, his body had disappeared without a trace. Visitors and residents of the area claim that Oscar Washburn's ghost still haunts the Old Alton Bridge. Visiting the bridge at night has brought all sorts of stories to light. Some people have reported seeing a man standing at the other side of the bridge holding goats' heads underneath his arms, or even a half-man, half-goat figure standing at the back of them. Others have reported more subtle incidents of their car doors locking and unlocking unprompted. Even if visitors don't see the Goatman, they have reported seeing glowing red eyes in the distance. Tourists and visitors have concluded that knocking on the bridge 3 times at night summons the ghost of Oscar Washburn. Interestingly, it appears that many of the claims surrounding the Goatman hold consistent descriptions, with those that have personally encountered the strange monstrous creature claiming that it stands at roughly 7 feet tall. Those that have laid eyes on it have said that it appears to be a half man and half goat, fitting the description similar to that of an ancient Greek minotaur. Many residents local to the region have reported seeing the Goatman, with some saying that they were attacked by the creature itself, and details that it waits within the thick shrubbery for someone to walk past before it launches its attack. According to the legends coming out of the state of Maryland surrounding the creature, residents claim that this Goatman first originated from a testing lab on the Beltsville Agricultural Research Center. The story goes that a scientist was spending his time working with goats and furthering his genetic research. However, an accident had occurred and turned him into a massive Goatman, and now this creature roams the area in order to seek revenge. As of today, investigations are still being carried out on Old Alton Bridge, with witnesses saying that the area is very much alive, and that a large spirit in the form of a Goatman still haunts the nearby areas. There's been a growing number of individuals that have come forward with new theories surrounding the Mothman and the possible nature of the creature. Given the fact that the strange encounters surrounding the creature have always been key in determining a future impending disaster, this has led many to believe that it may not be supernatural in nature, but rather that of a scientific advancement. Originally, the Mothman creature was first encountered in that of the small town of Point Pleasant in West Virginia. These sightings continued up until the collapse of the Silver Bridge, a tragedy that led to many people being injured and even more losing their lives. Interestingly, premonitions of this event occurred to many people in the town, of whom also spoke of encountering the Mothman prior to the collapse. After the encounters witnessed in the town of Point Pleasant back in 1966 to 1967, the Mothman creature would not return for another couple of decades, in which reported sightings of the creature were seen throughout the Soviet Union, but concentrated around the town of Pripyat and that of the Chernobyl power plant. In the months leading up to the Chernobyl incident in 1986, the workers at the Chernobyl power plant noticed the same creature reported throughout the town of Pripyat, and said it was hovering over the plant, and sometimes even resting on the larger towers and areas of construction. What grew even more perplexing for the workers were the reported number of incidents, of which people often claimed to have experienced harrowing nightmares of the creature, that would manifest into threatening phone calls from unknown numbers calling them all throughout the night, almost in a way to warn them about the impending dangers of the nuclear power plant. Many other claims that have come forward surrounding the creation provide predictions and premonitions to tragedies wherever it's sighted, leading some to believe that perhaps the Mothman is actually a time traveler in disguise. This would lead credence to the theory, as many have claimed to have seen the Mothman using electricity to vanish, possibly teleporting through space and time. One of the most interesting things about this creature that many aren't aware of is that it's still being sighted. One eyewitness reported seeing the creature above their house. They said the following: "I was taking pictures of the house and block as I do 2 to 3 times a year. I like to do this because I like to see how the house and shrubs change. As I was taking the pictures, I noticed that one picture had a clear sky in it, while another had an object in it." When the eyewitness shared the images, various different theories were put forward to try and explain what this was, with some saying that it looked like the mythical Mothman, while others said that it could have been a bat. Although bats can grow to 5 feet in length, the two look different when they're flying in the sky, as bats usually have V-shaped wings that are more narrow. Others pointed out that it looked like a giant moth, while cryptid researchers said that everything about this photograph matches that of the Mothman. Interestingly, for years now, everyday people have been coming forward with their stories of the Mothman, but as with many of these cases, those who encountered the creature wasn't quick enough to capture the event on camera, meaning that all they have to go by is their memory, and most don't believe that the event happened. This is one of those rare cases where the eyewitness didn't encounter the creature, but managed to accidentally capture it in the background of one of their images. Not everyone thinks the Mothman is good though. Some believe the creature is a bad omen. Point Pleasant holds an annual Mothman festival that recognizes the myth and draws many tourists to the local economy. A similar creature, or possibly the same one, was seen in New Haven, West Virginia. Allegedly, when 18-year-old Connie was driving home from church service, she saw a large grey figure 7 foot high, and it was standing at the roadside. It had the characteristic big bright red eyes. The creature then spread its wings and lifted into the sky. Not long ago, back in 2017, Mothman sightings had seemingly transitioned to Chicago. Lon Strickler tracks sightings on his website. They observed that by the second week in August in 2017, there were almost 30 sightings of a large flying humanoid in Chicago. Stickler then became interested in the Mothman phenomena after he allegedly encountered the creature as a child in Pennsylvania. The 2017 sightings were the most reports that he'd ever received in such a short time span. Interestingly, most of them occurred near Lake Michigan. A couple who were walking around North Lake Short Drive around 9:20 p.m. observed the winged cryptid swooping from the sky and flying towards them. Slowly descending in front no more than 25 feet away, it hovered around 5 feet from the sidewalk, with its wings spread open as it peered at the couple with large bright eyes. Several people on the other side of the street, including a delivery van driver, reacted with shrieks and terrified screams. The creature hovered for around 10 seconds, then swiftly pulled the wings into its body and shot up quickly into the night sky. Another sighting occurred in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood, where 2 police officers, a journalist, and a group of other witnesses saw a dark shadow with wings, saying that it was standing on top of a building. Within 1 day, similar Mothman sightings occurred in both Melrose Park and River Forest, but these sorts of sightings are no way restricted to American territory. A group of 4 friends were outside walking home from a dance in Kent, which is in the United Kingdom, on November 16, 1963, when they heard a loud crackling sound. When they followed the sound, they saw a large humanoid figure with bat wings, saying that it was emerging from the nearby branches. Those who have encountered the creature are adamant about what they saw, and have said that it doesn't match any creature known to science. So what do you make of this mysterious photograph? Do you think it shows the Mothman, or is it a creature known to science that's being misidentified? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.